What's going on, YouTube? You're back with Shades, and we're going to continue our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, Nomiya brought Rin, and hold on, my door's open. So Nomiya brought Rin and Hisa for some reason to his gallerist friend, and she looked at Rin's work and was like, it's good, and she has potential, but I don't think she's ready for a gallery. And she's like, it's not enough right now. And Rin was like, I'm willing to work hard, and I'm willing to make it. And then she's like, okay, but no guarantees. So Nomiya convinced her to let Rin put up some of her paintings, and they're gonna be like, we're gonna get her some leave from school. We're gonna try and get her as much time as she can to paint and create stuff. And that's pretty cool. So anyway, now we're here. Let's go. Oh, my camera's doing the thing again. Rin applies for and thanks to Nomiya pressuring the principal, I'm sure, is granted leave for the rest of the term for exceptional extracurricular activities. She has to make up for it during summer vacation, but she doesn't seem to mind. Rin will still be able to eat and sleep at school, of course. She just doesn't have to go to classes. I'm not entirely sure if I envy her or not. I wouldn't. It all makes me feel anxious somehow. Like say someone got me I don't know, a publishing contract or some sort of reading event that I had to go to, and she's like, okay, for the next month or two, you don't have to go to class, but you have to be working on your creative writing. That would be the most exhilarating and stressful thing of my life. I would be like, I have all this time. I have a couple ideas what to write, but it's is it gonna be good? Will I be ready for that? It would the stress would stop me from writing. But my desire to write would probably combat the stress. It would just mix in a conglomeration of it's something I can't even comprehend. And with visual art, I can't even comprehend how stressful that is, because I'm not a visual artist. I create things with words, and some people could say that's harder. Some people would say that's easier. I don't know. I think it's easier than visual art. But then again, my mind has been trained for that for years. It's the last day of school for Rin. I feel like I should send her off with a word of encouragement, or at least say something. It was sort of due to my influence that she decided to dive headfirst into this after all. My class ends a good 20 minutes early, so I walk down to the library and buy a can of juice, then sit down on a bench and wait for Rin. I pull out a novel from my bag and search for the place where I was. Time stretches comfortably over the warm afternoon while I idly sip my orange juice. Ah, good old J. Stave off that cold. And I read a few chapters of the book. The plot doesn't seem to advance at all, but it's all the same for me. The bell rings to end the school day, and the students shuffle to club meetings or outside. Nobody notices me, sitting on the bench with my nose in the novel. I keep watch for Rin, but I don't see her familiar face or red-tinted hair passing by. I check my watch 20 minutes past the end of classes, when the lobby is all but emptied of people again. Even Rin should have already managed to get out of the class, but either I missed her walking by or she never came downstairs. Perhaps she went to the art club room for them last-minute things instead, or got held back by her strict homeroom teacher. I haven't really waited that long, but having grown tired of it already, I decided to go find her myself. I stuff my book in a bag and throw it the now empty juice can in the trash bin, then climb upstairs. The hallway is eerily quiet, as there are no club rooms apart from the art room nearby. I check there first, and not even the teacher is in. Coming back toward the stairwell, I quietly knock on the door of 3-4 and push the door open to peek in. Yellow sunbeams cross the classroom, fall across the floor. The dust and chalk floating slowly in the air makes the light almost palpable. The entire room bathes in the gentle light shedding through the windows, washing the shadows away. Only one person is inside the classroom. Oh, she's asleep. Rin sits in what I assume is her seat, next to the window in the third row. Her head rests against the desk. I wonder if she slept through all of it. Apparently not even Emmy had the heart or maybe the capability to wake her up. I close the door quietly, walking past the neat, even rows of desks. I go over to where she sits. Rin? My mouth is suddenly so dry that the word comes out as a tiny whisper. She doesn't answer, so I set my bag down on the floor next to her and lean over her to look at her face. Rin's eyes are peacefully closed, the long eyelashes projecting thin shadows onto her cheeks. Her mouth is slightly open, letting me hear the quiet sound of her breathing. Her usually messy hair is even more so today, lying in complete disarray over half of her face and forehead. Her bag is lying at her feet like a forgotten rag doll. A few books and pens have fallen out of it, near her seat. The scene makes me smile a little. I touch Rin's head lightly, sweeping a few stray hairs off her ear. Her hair feels warm against my palm. Rin stirs, and I retract my hand on reflex, feeling embarrassed for touching her so casually. She looks so vulnerable, like any sleeping person. It's impossible not to feel a fondness towards her. It's still a little creepy. I sit on the desktop of whoever is in front of Rin, then draw the window slightly open to get some fresh air in. Hopefully it will wake her up, so I won't need to resort to cruder methods. Just give her a wet willy. Just do it. Wet willy. Oh wow, that's cool. I didn't think it would be animated. She doesn't wake up. I didn't really expect her to. Looking at her makes me feel tired as well. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a quick nap either, but I content myself with leaning against the large window. The glass is warm enough against my ear and cheek as these windows face west toward the setting afternoon sun. The afternoon light is slowly melting into Rin's auburn hair, softening her outline so that she seems to be fading into her surroundings. The minute twitches of her muscles and her hair swaying in the air current, leaving rhythm of her breathing. It all gives the strong impression of a dreaming girl. Like all sleeping people, Rin looks like she's away from this world, in some distant dream country. With her, it doesn't feel so obvious that she would ever come back. She seems so detached from her surroundings, even when she's awake. In fact, she has the same kind of air around her when... The realization hits me consciousness without warning. Rin sometimes looks like this when she's painting. Her focused expression gives the same feeling of being on the other side of some imaginary gap as looking at her sleeping face does. I feel a pain in my chest. There's no way I can close the gap to be on the same level with her. It hurts even though that I know it's impossible for any two people to truly understand each other. But Rin, she's almost literally in another world when she's talking about art, thinking about art, or making art. It's a world I, or literally anyone else really, can't share with her. I just like the world of dreams. Rin doesn't show any sign of waking up, so I'm faced with a decision to either rouse her myself or wait for her to wake on her own. I choose the latter. Waiting is something I'm good at. I found that during my hospitalization. But even the hospital ward was more lively than the school after classes are over. The only sounds in this place are the loud ticking of the clock above the door and the distant voices of students going down on the grounds. A genuine summer breeze blows inside from the window I cracked open, full of warmth and carrying the scent of light. I look outside to see where it came from, but I'm dazzled almost instantly. The window glass seems to trap all sunlight within, making it painful to look away. All I glimpse around the window are dark silhouettes of the trees and the wall around the campus against the setting sun's radiance. As I turn back to watch Rin, she stirs again. A single tear worms down the corner of her eye, slowly making it across her face before it falls into the desk. It's tiny, barely a droplet, but it captivates me. Another tear follows the first, and then a third. A feeling of anxiety overcomes me, petrifying me on the spot. It's strange, seeing Rin's face peaceful as she sleeps, at the same time as tears stream down her cheeks, wetting the wooden desktop she rests her head on. Wow, whoever wrote this is like just decided to, hey, let's make it super poetic. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing, and just watch the tears roll one by one down her face. I wonder what she's dreaming about. Rin wakes up after one final flinch, or perhaps because of the tears. She sits upright and yawns so excessively it looks like her jaw might dislocate. She notices my presence, but her reaction is more like the lack of any reacting at all. It's just an acknowledgement, no startled gasp or anything. Hello. Good morning. She's so groggy she can't even return my smile, but somehow I can't stretch to be entirely honest. She notices her wet cheeks and quickly wipes them on the shoulder of her shirt. It seems that she isn't surprised at all or flustered by them. You cried in your sleep. A bad dream? No, it's nothing like that. It's something I've learned to do from other people. It's a funny story. I will tell you later. On second thought, it's not really that funny at all, I guess. I won't tell you. Did you want something, or did you just come to watch me sleep? I wanted to see you after classes. Oh well, it's after classes now, and I'm seeing you right here. Yeah, I just wanted to say good luck or something. I figure the coming weeks are going to be a lot of work for you. Thanks. Rin yawns again and blinks a few times. I feel weird. Didn't sleep much last night. Butterflies in your stomach? What? No. I mean, yes. I know what that means. Butterflies. Don't really feel so good now. It'll be fine. You are so confident. Someday it will bite you in the ear. I look forward to it. I think I have to go. I promised Miss Saionji that I'd go there straight after school, and now is after school. Is it okay if I come by sometime? I'm guessing you're planning to work long hours, so if you prefer to avoid distractions. It's okay. It's not an distraction. I'm not like Emmy. Don't bring her with you, though. I wouldn't like it this time. I told her to stay away. I see. Alright then. That's a little mean, but I get it. Hisao is the guy that would just quietly observe her painting and wouldn't say anything. If anything, he would just say bye and then leave. Emmy is the kind of person that's like super energetic, and she would be kind of a hindrance, especially with like creating art. Rin stands up and silently walks to the door with me following behind. The school's empty hallways, devoid of the usual crowd of students, feel very lonely. It's only a few hours since school ended, but the building seems to be all but deserted. Our footsteps are all that intrude upon the stillness of the hallways. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers to liven it up. It's like the school has become a private world for just the two of us, a desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. I'm going to change. She says out of the blue while we walk down the stairs from the third floor, and makes me wonder how she views the challenge that lies ahead of her. That's what people must do sometimes. This is the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there's so much that we could talk about. And even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into the stagnant air as if they were never said. The thing is, when she said, I'm going to change, I thought she meant, like, change clothes. I didn't realize she was still going on about the whole, the inevitable change of humankind. I thought she was like, I'm going to change clothes before I get there. You know? Spice things up. And I'm like, okay, cool, go change. The next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me, caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to see Rin whenever I want to anymore. The hollow feeling is a bit disconcerting, but I make it to the afternoon all the same. My last class is, in a word, terrible. It's not the lesson that's bad, it is, however, boring, and it's so hot in the classroom that I feel like I'm melting. The air conditioning is either broken or turned off, so the windows are open. It makes no difference since the air outside is completely still. Only the chirping of cicadas carries inside. The sweltering heat permeates the room. Students and teachers alike are in an almost delirious state. I want to stand up and walk out of here without caring if the teacher or anyone else says. I can see that I'm not the only one with these thoughts, too. Hello? Next to me, Misha is shamelessly holding her skirt up a bit and fanning in air with her notebook. Only she seems to be as cool as always. Sitting with her back perfectly straight, arms folded on her chest, her eyes fixed on the equations scrawled on the blackboard. I keep shooting yearning glances at my watch, but it doesn't help the time go by any faster. It's funny, I remember how badly I wanted to get out of the hospital and go back to school. Now all I can think about is the upcoming summer vacation and the freedom from classes and homework. Perhaps it's human nature to think of only the situation at hand. Finally, the bell rings. Relieved, my classmates and I burst out into the hallway, already crowded by students from our neighboring classes. I spot Emmy's diminutive figure nearby and walk up to her. Hey there. She smiles sweetly and clearly happy to see me. Hisa, what's up? Is your classroom super hot too? Yeah, it is. I thought it was gonna melt in there. Nothing else is really happening though. Feeling a bit weird now that Rin's on her great adventure or whatever you want to call it. Emmy's face cracks a wider smile and she jumps up and down enthusiastically. Isn't it great? I'm so happy for her. I bet everyone will like her paintings and she'll sell a lot of them and make piles of money. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out great. I'm totally sulking at her though. She huffs angrily and places her hands firmly on her hips, even letting a little anger seep into her voice. It doesn't quite have the impact she's probably hoping for, but I say nothing. Why's that? She said that she doesn't want me to go see her. Oh yeah, she mentioned that. I guess she prefers not to be distracted. I can understand that. I don't think I'm that much of a distraction. Besides, I'm sure she'll forget about sleeping and eating properly if someone's out there to tell her to do it. Sometimes she's like that. She gets completely fixated on whatever and she drops everything else. It really makes me worried, you know. Is she gonna be alright? Such friendship. I wonder if she thinks I'm annoying. I'm pretty sure that's not the case at all. Emmy shakes her head, looking amused. I'm not sure if she's joking or not. She has this weird idea about a lot of stuff. Things just make her in a totally different way than they do to me. I can't even remember all the weird stuff she talked about over all this time. I don't think Rin really does either. She's the type who would forget her own head if it wasn't attached to her shoulders. That's why I can't leave her alone. Is that weird? She leans against the wall, managing to look distraught, yet cheerful as always. I get a strange feeling about it, as though I were talking to two people at the same time. How would I know? Everyone's weird in some way, but if that's yours, it's a very nice way. At least I can understand what you're talking about, unlike Rin. Most of the time, I have no idea what's going on inside her head either. Emmy giggles, nodding in agreement. I think it's okay for you to understand her. That's usually how she is. Emmy stands up straighter, brushing the hem of her skirt and straightening the waistline. She laughs awkwardly. Wow, we ended up talking pretty seriously. What's up with you, Hisa? Why'd you bring this up? Oh, sorry. I didn't really mean to get into this sort of discussion either. I don't know. I've had this weird feeling lately about Rin. I don't know why. I feel a bit guilty bringing up something like this for no reason, except my own anxiety. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Suddenly Emmy clutches my wrist and twists it so that she can see what time it is from my watch. Oh damn, this late already? I should go. There's a meeting with the rest of the track team at the field. It's not gonna be fun in this heat. We're gonna sweat like pigs, but I promised I'd be there. Bye-bye. She skips downstairs, leaving me wondering if what I said, or what Rin said rather, hurt her or not. Maybe what Emmy herself said hurt her. Maybe what Emmy herself said hurt her the most. Come to that. So in the end, even the person closest to Rin is just as far apart from her as everyone else. I mean, I get it. I wonder if Rin herself ever feels that distance. I felt that I was drifting away from the world too during my hospitalization. I felt anxious and depressed, and even now, sometimes I still do. But I fight against it with all I've got. If Rin has been on the side of the divide her whole life, I can't imagine how she could not be lonely. But perhaps she's truly different. I refuse to belong to that other place, but maybe she's found comfort there. Like Emmy, I have a club meeting of my own, so I head straight to the art club room at the end of the hallway. Only a few members are present today, so the mood's even more laid back than usual. Rin's off working on her exhibition project, but I wonder if the rest are simply just playing hooky defeated by the heat. I half-assedly sketch something with a piece of graphite, but do a poor job of it. My fingertips are turning pitch black from holding the graphite and smudging it on the paper, accidentally and on purpose. I have improved a little, but Rin's level is still far beyond my reach. Eventually, Nomiya comes in and makes his way around the room, checking on what we're doing and giving comments on the work in progress. He stops behind me and bends closer to look at my poor sketch. Try to take a few points from Tezuka, have you? Well, I looked at how she draws, but I haven't exactly asked for advice, no? Let's see here. Hold on, my nose. My nose is so runny. He casually picks up a piece of graphite from my hand and lightly draws some faint, barely visible lines over my sketch to illustrate places that need improvement. I already feel frustrated about not seeing the obvious flaws before, but with a couple of careless seemingly flicks of the wrist, Nomiya has made them plain as day. Straightening it up, he throws a sideways glance at the seat where Rin usually sits. Such a nostalgic feeling, almost like a bird flying from the nest. I'll miss Tezuka when she graduates. It begins from here, you know? It only makes my eyes a little misty. Do you really think she has a chance to make her big break with the exhibition? Nomiya looks up from my sketch, adjusting his glasses. He rubs his chin, looking contemplative. Why not? It's not like she's going to be an overnight smash hit or anything, but getting the word out there is very important. Connections are pure gold. Maybe it's the most important thing to gain if she is to become an artist. Word of mouth is very powerful in these circles. She has some advantages, like her young age and technique, the feat. People will be naturally curious about extraordinary things like that. His words have an unpleasant ring to them. Isn't that just exploiting her disability to make her more popular? It sounds fishy. No, it's not like that at all. Think of it from another perspective, like an artist. Would you rather have Tezuka hide herself completely from public view, as if her condition were something shameful? Some people will call it exploitation if we promote that aspect, or discrimination if we hide it. All considered, we're just being honest about it. There's nothing wrong with that, right, my boy? I guess so. I mean, that's true. It's a damned if you don't, damned if you do situation. Because, you could be yeah, she's an artist. And then just never say she has no arms. And then just say or start off saying, yeah, she has no arms, and she still paints. But unfortunately, no matter how you say that, it's like, hey, is great that she's a good artist, or that the fact that she can do it with no arms? Brilliant! It's true that the disability always has all sorts of implications in society, often nasty ones. But brushing things under the carpet won't help at all. Yeah, it's true, I agree. You're better off just being honest from the start and and just letting people think what they want. Say, hey, I don't have arms and I still paint. And people are gonna think, people are gonna look at your art less critically than other artists because you don't have arms and you have a handicap. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's everyone's viewpoint on the situation is so different that it doesn't matter what one person says. I'm sure Saya will handle her side of the issues with delicacy. I've known her since art school. She's most reliable. Why is she going so far for Rin's sake? Is it because you asked? Oh, she has her own reasons too. Trust this old man. She's more kind-hearted than she looks. Ah, but don't let her know I said that. He gives me a big wink and covers his mouth with his hand, as if to push the remark back in. I remember the curious way Miss Saionji looked at Rin almost the entire time during our visit to the gallery. It was like that woman was trying to imprint everything about her into her memory. Or maybe that was just Rin who reminded her of something else. Mostly, Saya simply adores young people with a passion for art. Her gallery specializes in this very thing, bringing up-and-coming talent to the public. It's a perfect fit for someone like Tezuka. I don't even know if she really wants to become a career artist though, but I guess that'd be the next logical step. I don't have the faintest idea. Like they say, a teacher can only show the door. It's a student who has to walk through it. An old tired saying, but it's still quite true. Very, very true. He leaves to chat with a pair of second-year girls working on some watercolors. Even though he said that cliched thing, it makes me feel like Nomiya is trying to prod Rin through a certain door in particular, and I can't blame him for that. I literally shoved Rin toward the door with my speeches about wasting opportunities and whatnot. Nomiya feels like it's time for him to let Rin test her own wings. He has absolute confidence in this endeavor. I wonder why I can't shed the anxious feeling I have inside of me. I shouldn't have anything to do with me. Maybe I'm just bothered by exactly that. I really don't have any part in this. I would like to be a part of Rin's life, and her to be a part of mine. Like friends should be. That's what she called us. I wonder what she really meant. I feel like I'm so apart from her, even when I'm not. It's the same as with Rin and Emmy. I can't understand her. What am I for her? Apparently the choice is I want to understand her. In the end, even though we've made friends with each other, I don't really feel that we've gotten any closer. How could I call someone my friend if I can't understand her? Nomiya's boisterous laugh fills the quiet afternoon just as the club meeting ends. He pats one of the girls in the back encouragingly. I think about all the things that have led me to this point, all the things that I've shared with Rin during the few weeks I've been at Yamaku so far. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing Yamaku correctly. I understand so very little. In the end, I'm sure of one thing. If I want to keep going with what I have with Rin, I have to throw myself into whatever will come out of this exhibition project along with her. I turn my gaze back to the black mess of a sketch and the near-invisible guiding lines that the teacher drew over it. No pattern emerges, nothing that could take me further than I am. I put the graphite down on the table and think hard and honestly about what I really want. That's too real! But anyway, I'm going to have to end the part here. It's a good place to stop. Oh, God. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh god, this is new. But like, Rin is one of those people that like doesn't really know what she wants, but she's willing to try whatever needs to be done, so long as she's fully willing to accept the change. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard. They don't know if she's gonna succeed or not, but it's all up to her at this point. And her drive and how the public takes her. Unfortunately, art's one of those things where you can't control how the public perceives you. It's all about how you expose yourself, how you portray yourself, and hoping the public takes it the right way. You can clarify, you can explain away other things, but it's hard otherwise. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me or from this series, hit the subscribe button. And you're exiting the Shadyverse. My name is Shades, and I hope you've enjoyed your day in the shade. See you guys next time. Bye.